Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, loved people. Welcome back to Minnie's Mental Health. Thank you for joining me on another exciting session where I share relevant, necessary, and enlightening topics that can affect young children, older children, adults, basically just children. They're my focus, as I always say. So my channel exists to increase the positive sort of well-being of children's minds, their thinking, their psyche, their memories, as I learn as well. I'm sure you would have noticed I'm a first-time mom, but anyway, before I digress even more, I have a topic today that is controversial, that is quite current, and it started out in America. Yes, Papa. Yes, ants. Zintutuane ants. Good boy. So as you can hear, my son is having a science lesson. Seeing ants. So before I start randomly, I happen to wear red and blue today, and I didn't even know that the local Crystal Palace team was playing today, so I was kind of going around with my red and blue outfit, and I think they won, so yeah, well done to Crystal Palace, because clearly I'm wearing red and blue, so I might as well be a supporter just for today. So yeah, but anyway, as I was saying, I digress. So today's topic is wokeism. So what is wokeism? Basically, from my understanding, wokeism is a state of mind where people believe that social injustice is ingrained within a country's system. So its genesis obviously is in America. You know, we all know the history of America, the history of racism and segregation, and currently is the Democrats and the Republicans, so left and right wing. So a lot of Generation Zs in America are woke, basically, you know. And I'm not here to talk politics. I'm just here to touch on subjects, obviously, that do affect young children, and in this day and age, you know, they're getting younger and younger. So how does wokeism affect children's mental health? Basically, if a large majority of, let's say, Americans, or even here in the UK or any other sort of country around Europe or in the Americas, have this sort of wokeism sort of mentality, then racism, in my opinion and in my understanding, racism is going to continue, because currently the argument is there's white supremacy, and, you know, white people need to sort themselves out, and everyone needs to be very respectful and agreeing to basically all types of communities. I agree with the respect, but I don't think that respect means accepting and submitting to ideologies that are not in your beliefs. Okay, obviously, a prime example is if you're a Christian and, you know, you're raising your family as Christians, i.e. your children, like, according to the wokeism ideology, all your children should not just celebrate, for example, transgenderism or homosexuality, but they should accept it. They should, stand up for any other views that are anti or that do not accept or support. Love you, Jita. Yeah, my son is excited about the ants, basically. So, yes, Papa, what are the ants doing? Zenzani intutwana. So okay, not to go into further politics, basically, because I don't want to. My channel is not about politics, and I don't want to sort of stray along that sort of sphere. So I just keep it to the focus and the aim of my channel. So with mental health. So if children are going to have a very strong view on sort of discriminating against people who are not submitted to the wokeism, I call it an agenda, sincerely, and that's my personal opinion. If people are not accepting and proud of people that are transgender or homosexual, or sort of living lifestyles that are not in their beliefs. I still use the Christian example. There's other religions as well that if people are following the religion or the faith, they will not agree with a lot of the wokeism sort of beliefs. I know in Islam they don't agree with transgenderism and homosexuality. For example, obviously I'm using those examples. The Jewish culture, and other sort of religions. Yes, Papa, the ants. What are the ants doing? Zenzan intutwan. Zenzan. What are they doing? Are they getting food? Yeah. They're finding food. Yeah. That's my son for you. I hope that you can still hear me. A lot of background noise, but this is how we do. They know herd like motherhood, as they say. So, but anyway, back to my topic. So, wokeism. But it's okay. The ants are still there. It's like calling to Twane, but wait to. So yeah. So. Pardon me. Yeah, it's just my son. Anyway, so another sort of point I'd like to make about wokeism is that from what I've seen on social media and just people who agree with wokeism, there seems to be, is quite cohesive. It's like you have to believe in what we believe and you have to celebrate it. If not, there's consequences. And as I said, I'm not going to go into politics now, but we've seen consequences in America of someone not submitting to the wokeism sort of agenda. So us raising children now, that we all know that America is a powerhouse in terms of influence, in terms of their sort of way of thinking, their lifestyle. Anything that happens in America will infiltrate to the UK and to the rest of Europe, and especially to African countries. So you can't really say that, it's only happening in America. So I say to all of us, parents, caregivers, like, let's wake up, like, let's take our stand in terms of what we believe. If you have certain sort of beliefs and you want your children to sort of grow up under that, I suppose, indoctrination, you have to be very firm in teaching them. Not just you, me, us, all of us. We have to be very firm in teaching them, and we have to sort of inspire them to be courageous, because especially when it comes to the fear of God, if you're a Christian or any other religion that believes that God is there and he's got principles and ways of living, we have to be, let me say we, please, because it applies to me. We have to be very resilient and very courageous, because the kind of world that our children are growing up in, even mentally, if they're not mentally strong, if they're not mentally resilient, then all these trendy ideologies like wokeism and some more that I'm going to be talking on are going to overwhelm them and they're just going to follow. So that's the sad sort of part about it. So of course, as I always say in my channels, I believe being a Christian, like, we are Christians. If you're Christian, we are Christians for such a time as this. Okay, Papa, why are you screaming? What's wrong? Where are the ants? Ants, yes, Papa. Good boy. That's my boy. Yeah. So yeah, apologies for a lot of the sort of like interruptions, but as a lady that I do admire said, life's interruptions like they're blessings, because obviously I'm interacting with my son as I do a video on my channel that is based on children. So what do you think about wokeism and ideologies? As you would have gathered in a lot of the things that I've said, I think wokeism is basically not of God, because there is no fear of God in wokeism. Like, in the actual mindset, there's no fear of God. Like, it's more people, or like a mindset where people are God. So whatever, and I think it encourages sinning against God, and the only true God, the only holy God, like our Lord Jesus. It encourages sin against him, basically. So it's definitely not of God, in my own understanding, opinion, research. I'm continue to do more research on it, and I just would like to know what you think about wokeism. Are you American? What do you think about wokeism? Do you have a faith or religion? How does wokeism complement or go against your faith or religion? Let's share, parents and caregivers. It's a whole lot of battle out there. It's not just physical battle. It's a spiritual battle. It's a mental battle. It's a psychological battle. This world that we're living in, only God is helping us. Anyway, I'll stop my video at that for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and please, I look forward to your comments. I look forward to our interactions, and let's continue on this journey of helping children to be established in their mindsets and mental well-being, and in effect helping ourselves as well. Take care. God bless. See you on my next one. Bye.